Our panel this hour is going to spell out the chilling attacks on our liberties that are happening in broad daylight. As bad as things are, Trump has said the scary part out loud. He's only getting started, and his sycophants at the FCC and in the White House, they're all too eager to stifle any dissent. It is impossible to exaggerate the stakes here, but as we've seen with many broadcasters, corporations, universities, law firms, and other institutions, once their bottom lines are threatened, often they will capitulate, assuming some temporary subservience will somehow allow long-term stability. It is a calculation I believe that they're already regretting. Now, no one knows where this thing ends. Now, whether you call it censorship, extortion, blackmail, it's beginning to dawn on even some of the most dyed-in-the-wool conservatives that this isn't what they signed up for because, among other reasons, if they come for comedians and broadcast news today, another administration might come for them when it's their turn. Well, on Friday, I shared with you the concerns of journalists, freedom of speech advocates, and Democratic lawmakers. Today, I thought I'd share with you the fears about Trump's overreach from the right. First is, believe it or not, Senator Ted Cruz. He talks about the FCC chair sounding more like a Don than a commissioner.
He threatens explicitly, we're going to cancel ABC's license. We're going to take him off the air so ABC cannot broadcast anymore. And I got to say, he threatens it. He says, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. And I got to say, look, I understand. Jimmy Kimmel has mocked me so many times I cannot count. The corporate media, they are dishonest. They are liars. I hate what Jimmy Kimmel said. I am thrilled that he was fired. But let me tell you, if the government gets in the business of saying, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like, that will end up bad for conservatives.
Another Republican, Representative Tom McClintock from California, he echoes why the attacks on free speech ought to concern every lawmaker, regardless of their party.
Freedom of speech is the beating heart of a democracy. It's the entire reason that this building exists, so that we can talk out our differences. Free societies do not fear free speech, even when that speech is hateful or malignant or stupid. Free societies recognize that the only way to separate fact from fiction, love from hate, truth from lies, wisdom from folly, or good from evil is to put them side by side and to trust the people to know the difference. No central authority must ever be given the power to take this vital freedom away from the people or to punish anyone solely for expressing their opinions.
Tucker Carlson, a conservative flamethrower if there ever was one, said that if you want real chaos, just try and limit what Americans are allowed to say and about whom.
You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country. And trust me, if it is, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever, and there never will be.
Finally, according to insiders, at the root of the pressure campaigns to get Colbert and Kimmel off the air was Trump's insecurity at being the constant butt of their jokes. Notably, the late Charlie Kirk, whose tragic death in many ways has spurred Trump's calls to limit critical discourse, was actually among the loudest voices defending free speech, even if he was on the receiving end of it.
Okay, everybody, the South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, part of it is kind of like whatever, typical humor, but it was hilarious. Now, there's going to be a lot said about this, but we need to have a good spirit about being made fun of. This is all a success. This is all a win. We as conservatives, we have thick skin, not thin skin, and you can make fun of us. It doesn't matter.
I believe that until institutions finally stand up to Trump like the New York Times and Harvard University have, he will keep pushing the envelope and keep weaponizing the government to further muzzle any reporting that he finds unfavorable. He said as much last week.
I read someplace that the networks were 97% against me. I get 97% negative, and yet I won it easily. I won all 7 swing states, popular, but won everything. And if they're 97% against, they give me only bad publicity or press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away.
Those numbers and his assertions are, as usual, completely invented. But there are new numbers that he has good reason to worry about because they are real. An AP poll released on Friday shows that not only have a vast majority of Americans now believe that we're heading in the wrong direction, but for the first time in his presidency, a majority of Republicans do as well. Just 3 months ago, 70% of Republican respondents liked where the country was heading. But now, 51% do not approve. Many point to concerns about the job market, rising costs, vanishing health care, and now, a climate where political violence seems all the more likely. With midterms only about a year away, and even his base showing concerns about Trump's assault on the Constitution and norms, the GOP has good reason to worry about what Trump is doing to the country and to their prospects for re-election.